Hello, my name is Ben Alexander, and I have autism. The season is changing. It's going from summer hot to winter cold very, very fast. I mean, we're in October now. It's so crazy to think that we are in October. Felt like this year just started. And it felt like this year I was just trying to find a job, and I was able to get a job. You know, I work at a flower warehouse now, and I have an income that's making me money, and I'm definitely appreciative of that. And that's kind of why it's like the season could change just like that. Into a good season, into a bad season, vice versa. You know, it might be a bad season for you right now, but it takes one good thing to completely change, overhaul everything. It takes one good thing. And then build off that one good thing the best you can. And then voila. You know, you're in a good season. But again, at the same time, if you're in a good season, something bad can happen just like that too. And that, you know, really enjoy the good seasons in life, because there are going to be some bad seasons in your life. And, you know, I'm walking through a bad season right now. You know, I'm just trying to figure out what's next. And, you know, I'm building some businesses, and that's really hard. You know, I got my travel agency, you know, Ben's Allergy and Restaurant Reviews. And I will say, with Ben's Allergy Restaurant Reviews, I do got a brand deal with Fig that I am making videos, and they love my content. So that's working out really well. And that is a good thing. But I'm obviously hoping to get more views on my videos. And I'm definitely hoping that I can grow my social following on Ben's Allergy Restaurant Reviews. You know, it's the same thing with Ben A Travels Easy. You know, I'd love to get more clients, but finding clients is very hard. Finding ways to book travel, that's not easy either. But, you know, it is what it is. It's part of life. You know, there's challenges you just gotta go through, you know. Yeah, so I think that's part of the thing is, you know, there's going to be good seasons, there's going to be bad seasons. So, but, you know, don't get too discouraged if you're in a really bad season, but also don't let your guard down if you're in a good season, because it takes one bad thing to spiral into depression and anxiety. You know, at the same time, you don't want to be too worried that it's very complicated. Like, you don't want to let your guard down and be like, whatever, you know, nothing bad can happen to me. I don't want you to think like that, but also it's like, you know, yes, something could happen, but at the same time, you know, I gotta plan for it. You know, I gotta mentally prepare for something bad happening, but I don't want to dwell on the bad things happening, because then it kills the joy of the good season, right? So I think that's part of the balance you gotta find. And then if you're in a good season, but if you're in a bad season, it's like, I'd say the same thing. It's like, you know, don't dwell in the depression too much, because eventually something good's gonna happen. I truly believe it. I truly believe something good is going to happen. I don't know when it's going to be or what it is. I don't know your life situation. And even in my life situations, like, I still don't know when things are going to get better. I don't know when I'm going to have money to move out of my parents' house. I don't know when I'm going to be able to pay off my car, or, you know, when I can find an affordable place to stay that's safe and good. And yeah, and then I could start saving money. Like, when is life going to become affordable again in this country? Those are all questions that you have, but I think you just trust in God that He's got a plan for you and He's got a plan for me. I think that's the thing that I'm really reflecting on. It's like, you know, is God fair? But as I'm finding out, you know, God hasn't had the final word yet. You know, He's still writing your story, and He knows your story. But um, you know, it's just trust in God. Trust that God's got a plan. You know, you don't know the future. God does. You got to trust that God's got a plan, and that's hard. It's very difficult for me even, and I'm sure a lot of you relate. It's like, well, why don't I just have it now? I don't know. That's something you got to ask God. But maybe, just maybe, God's teaching you a lesson. Maybe God is trying to get through to you that, well, that there are seasons. There are going to be good seasons. There's going to be bad seasons. That's just life. And it's not a fun lesson. It's not a lesson that anybody wants to go through or anybody really wants to hear, because everybody wants a good season all the time, 100% of the time, right? But that's just not reality. There are going to be bad seasons in your life, and there are going to be good seasons as well. So just take note that God's not done with you. God's not done with me. And hopefully that you got something out of this video. And if you did, please hit the subscribe button, turn on YouTube notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and share this video with your friends. And yeah, so that's all I have to say, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.